Good morning and welcome to another Focus Show, this time around focusing on Tel and Tech. In this show, we'll be talking to the editor of the Tel and Tech Focus magazine, Yolanda Nell. We'll also be bringing in guests from Green Enterprise Solutions and Salt Essentials. We'll be delving in all things AI, cybersecurity, technology, and telecommunications. I am Glenna Rashipura.
Are you looking for a plan to suit your lifestyle? Do you need more data, more minutes, or more SMSs? Introducing the new postpaid infinite plan. Whether you need more voice, data, or SMSs, postpaid infinite plans have you covered. You are in control. Simply use your money wallet to conveniently make your selection and enjoy lower tariffs on data, voice, and SMS bundles. Plus, get 10 GB free once off when you sign up. Dial star 682 hash or visit the MyMTC app or MTC website to select your own minutes, data, and SMSs today. T's and C's apply. MTC. Make the connection.
Now I'm sitting here with the wonderful editor of the Tel and Tech Focus magazine, and she's going to be telling us a little bit more about the magazine. How are you?
I'm good. It's a good day to talk about technology.
I know, right? Compiling such a magazine, I went through it in the morning. I mean, wow, kudos to you and your team.
Oh, thank you so much. It was so much fun working on this because technology is part of our lives, and working on it, I've seen how much growth we've seen. And with the start of AI, it's amazing how Namibian companies are taking that technology and making the best of it.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the world is embracing technology, whereas before we were like, oh, what's happening here? What can the viewers and readers alike look forward to in this Tel and Tech Focus magazine?
Well, I wrote an article about the history of AI, and that was really insightful because scientists and technologists have been working on AI since back in the 1960s. So it's not new. And what was really interesting was the fact that they literally said they had to wait for computers to kind of catch up with what we're doing. And I also focused on an article where we look at the HESS telescope. We are planning a new one, the Africa Millimeter telescope,
yes,
that is being placed in Namibia. And they received funding at the end of last year, and that project is ready to go.
This is exciting times. I think I don't know much about AI or technology. Like, just hearing from you, the fact that it came from back then. What?
Yes.
What? Why is telecommunications and technology so important, especially in today's society?
Well, briefly, that's how we communicate. I mean, I can remember back in the day when we were traveling and my grandmother's phone calls missed us because the only thing they could rely on is the hotel or the guest house we were staying. And if they missed us, they missed us.
Yeah.
And so now I have a good relationship still with my sister who lives in Mexico, and I have a good relationship with my best friend who lives in South Africa. Technology kind of gives us that means to stay in contact.
Yeah, and keep connected as well.
But other than that, it advances the medical industry, it advances the tourism industry, the education industry. But unfortunately, that also comes with a lot of challenges. But I think Namibia is geared towards fighting those challenges.
Of all the articles you worked on, what stood out for you?
It has to be the Africa Millimeter telescope. It's wonderful to know that Namibia was chosen for something of this magnitude to be set up in Namibia, and the advancement it makes in science and technology and engineering and mathematics. And then you kind of just sense, wow, Namibians are part of this process. I spoke to Lot France, who's currently working on his PhD at UNAM, and he's very involved in this in this project, and it makes me just realize, that little boys that dreams about going to space.
Yeah.
We actually have the opportunity to follow those career paths.
It's possible, especially in this generation, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You don't have to wait, a few generations down the line for that to happen, and that's amazing. So, can we get into AI? I know there's like, people, is AI a good or a bad thing? Because it has both positive and also negative connotations to it.
I've been on the fence about AI for a very long time, purely because I'm scared. I'm scared it's going to take my job. I'm scared that it's going to take a lot of people's jobs. But the technology is here. It's not going away. So if you change your mindset and you decide, you know what, it is here, I'm going to use it and not misuse it. It should work with me, not for me. And the moment I changed my mindset, it's better, because when you can make the workload lesser for yourself, then you're winning.
Yes, because isn't that the concept of a washing machine, for instance?
Exactly.
It makes your workload much more easier, and so forth. And that's technically what technology is supposed to be about.
The thing is, if we look at AI and technology in the education system, we have to be mindful. We have to know our pupils that's in front of the class. Are we trusting that this child wrote this essay, or are we sensing AI wrote it? Did ChatGPT maybe work through the night?
What I found interesting, funny you should mention that, so universities, I think UNAM and NAST, I stand to be corrected, but they have now a software that can detect how much AI was used on an article, and that's at least a step in the right direction into making sure that it's safe to use this.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people in the tertiary education that might start using it for their doctorates and their thesis.
Yeah, you can write my thesis for me. Why should I go do all the work?
but I think there's going to come a time, not far from now, where AI will be a reference. You will have to say, look, this is what I wrote into AI, this is what I got.
Exactly, and then I told it to accept. Wow, that the world is moving into a fun, exciting new times, I think.
And I think I'm excited for the fact that, back in the day, we always said Africa and Namibia is like 20 years behind or 50 years behind, but now we're actually in a space where we can actually use it to our advantage.
Exactly. I traveled a bit and I was in Europe, and I was quite shocked that the way we bank here, because we can bank with our cell phones, and it's not common elsewhere in the world. I don't know now, but that was like 4 years back. So I don't know now if Europe has caught up, but Africa seems like to be advancing faster than the rest of the world in terms of technology.
That's amazing to see, because if we're making it part of our culture and our day-to-day life, then it's a good thing. The problem again in Namibia is the vast distances between places, and connectivity is still an issue in a lot of spaces in Namibia. But I think if we get our telecommunication partners involved, there's greatness for us.
Well, I do have to commend you on your Focus Tel and Tech edition. It's really beautiful. I love everything in it. I read 1 or 2 articles in the morning, and I plan to get more later on. But people can get their hands on this today and so forth.
Yeah, I'm very excited, and please give us your feedback on our Facebook page. We would love to know what you think about the magazine.
I will give feedback as well. Well, we'll be right back with more after the break.
In the space of a decade, the frontiers of work have changed significantly. These are the voyages of the people of Salt Essential IT. Their lifelong mission: to explore strange new technologies and to seek out new ways to work securely, productively, and efficiently. To boldly go into the future of work. Join us at salt.na. Enable and empower your enterprise to be skilled, fearless, and future fit.
I'm joined by Johan van Rooyen from Green Enterprise Solutions, a cybersecurity specialist. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for letting me be here.
Okay, so before I get into the questions, what is a cybersecurity specialist?
Well, so cybersecurity specialist is pretty much everything to do around cybersecurity. I would say what we do at Green a lot on the cybersecurity front is penetration testing, security auditing for companies to adhere to certain standards, whether it's in the banking sector or in insurance or so forth. Yeah, so different sectors, different standards for cybersecurity.
Well, I guess we could get into what happens at Green Enterprise Solutions with that.
Sorry, say that.
I'm saying then we can move into what happens at Green Enterprise Solutions. What do you guys do?
So we, besides cybersecurity, we're strong into networking infrastructure as well. So if we talk about infrastructure, this is virtualization systems. And then also we have a very strong front in mobile device developing.
Why would you say Namibians should be adopting the available technologies, especially with this fast, rapid pace of technological advancements?
So I think the adoption it's a situation where you either use it or lose it, and you're going to fall behind. I think as we've spoken about AI, it's going to stay. It's not going to change. It will be regulated most probably, and it's already being regulated in the US. But it's not going to go away. So you either start embracing the newer technologies and in such a way that it works for you and making your own life easier on a day-to-day basis.
I see. Can you tell us about keeping safe online?
So keeping safe online, I think there's a lot of different aspects regarding that, but I always stick to a small methodology for people to remember. I always say there's 3 P's that they need to look at. So the one is PC protection. So this is normally antivirus on your machines. The second one is password protection. This is to have, don't give out your passwords to anybody else. You know, be wise about these kind of things.
Yes, yeah.
Also, don't connect to open Wi-Fi connections. You know, if you do banking, rather do it at a machine that you know and a connection that you know. And the last one is patching, where machines that you use needs to be kept up to date. And that's not just machines, it's also tablets, phones, different operating systems, so on, yeah.
Well, I feel embarrassed to mention that I have not done any of those on any of my devices. So I need to be up to date with keeping safe.
Yeah.
It's important that you mentioned banking, for instance. Like I log onto my bank using maybe open Wi-Fi, etc. Because there's some people that have been complaining that they've been hacked, what money was moved around without their permission, etc. So it's good that you should mention that these are some of the ways that we can try to keep safe online, especially with important things like your bank, for instance.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, if you think about in the real world, driving too fast is a risk. Not servicing your car is a risk. Not having the right tires in your car is a risk. So if you start taking that methodology and putting it into into the digital world, it comes down to the same thing. Don't use your own machine. Don't let people just use your machine. Use your Wi-Fi connection. Just think wisely about.
I never thought of that. Thank you for that.
When you work on the digital world, yeah.
I know you mentioned what a cybersecurity specialist does. So what is cybersecurity?
So cybersecurity, the definition is basically the protection of digital systems. So if we talk about digital systems, it is normally, and I'm saying normally, it's your servers, computers, networks, and all the digital connections and devices connecting to build this digital world.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
How should we be keeping ourselves safe? You mentioned quite a few things right now, but is there more?
So I would think sometimes when I say, common sense, just use common sense. Again, if you do banking, you're not going to do it on a machine where you've saved some of your information on that public machine, which the next person can work on and have some sort of information regarding maybe your emails or your banking. Stick to good practices. So again, stick to closed Wi-Fi. Don't use public Wi-Fi's, and open Wi-Fi is for if you're doing any privacy, transactions or so forth. Again, like I said, if it's one thing that I want people to take away is the 3 Ps: PC protection, patching, and passwords.
No, I'm going to start implementing that. Thank you so much. Before I let you go, is there anything else you want to say to the audience?
Well, I think, like I said, stay up to date, use technology, don't be scared of it. We don't have a choice. We'll have to move into that direction. But again, common sense, use it wisely and use it in a best practice manner.
Thank you so much. After the break, we'll be talking to Vanessa from Salt Essentials. I'm now joined by Vanessa from Salt Essentials, and you are a regular here, I could say, right?
Well, it's my second time.
Yes, I've heard you here before. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Shortly tell us, what is Salt Essentials all about?
All right, so we're all about people. Traditionally, I think ICT service providers focus a lot on products and services, hardware, software. And I think with the COVID pandemic, we really changed our business model because we realized most of the challenges and opportunities that people face is because people are not empowered. They don't know. I always say you don't know what you don't know, and you only know what you know. And then there's a part that you don't know.
I see.
So we really have changed our business model where we do all of those things, the security, cybersecurity, the networks, all of that. But for us, our focus is to empower people, and in so doing, businesses to become great and be future fit.
It's a good thing that you mentioned business. What role does technology play in the business world?
I think, and I think today's discussions are also proof of that. And if you look at the trends where we're going, technology used to be the server at the restaurant table. The people that were having dinner or lunch, they would put in the orders and we would deliver. And I think today we're in a space where technology is at the table. It has a voice. It needs to have a voice at every table, in every business, in every household, really, because that is probably. You mentioned communication earlier, and I want to say something around collaboration more than communication. So everything that we do has got technology infused into our lives. We, like Johan said, we're not going to get away from it.
Yeah.
So definitely technology, I think, is probably one of the bigger role players now. That if you're looking at your business, you need to have an ICT representative or the IT manager, not just being a manager, but on board level. They need to be part of the C-suite.
Wow, we actually never thought of it to that level of importance, especially in my eyes. Still on the business front, what would you think are the risks that businesses can face if they're trying to leverage technology and the opportunities it brings?
Well, definitely, I think not having the proper systems and tools in place would put you at risk. We were discussing the updating earlier. Simple things like that can really cause havoc in an organization. And literally, we've seen, if you go and look at some of the recent breaches, from deep fakes to your normal cybersecurity threats, it can close down, and it has closed down businesses. Wow. So you need to make sure that you have the proper systems and tools in place, and that your people are in a space to safely and securely use technology.
So we need to marry cybersecurity with technology moving forward, I would say.
Well, yes. I mean, technology plays such majority in the cyberspace, so definitely, yeah.
What role would you say that AI has and that it will play in our lives actually in the future?
So it's very interesting because I've recently also done a bit of research into the origins and so on, and one of the main reasons that it wasn't just computer processing power why we're seeing such a huge surge since a year or two back, it's also data. AI needs data to actually, there's so much like a human brain. We've actually made a little metal human. That's what we've actually created with AI, because it has the same neural networks as us. It thinks the same way. It's still a very young human brain, but it is. So I think it's going to play a major role. But here we are going to define what role it plays. If we use it to replace our creative role that we play as human beings, then yes, maybe we'll have a problem in a couple of years, because then they will start to be able to replace some of us. So you mustn't. Each person is responsible for using it in a way to support you, so that you don't need to do the admin stuff, so that you can focus on doing meaningful work.
Yes.
And that's the role it's going to play. It's going to be, I mean, it's already my best friend, one of my best friends. I'd say my best friend, but one of my best friends. I can't imagine my life without it.
Yes, because sometimes you're like thinking you have to send this very important email, you must sound a certain way. It would be nice to get some help. Hey, I need to send an email asking for this. Can I sound yes?
I work in ICT. I am not a writer.
Yes.
So now I'm asked to write the article, the same topic for 5 different editions. I'm not a writer, so it's fantastic for me, and I give complete credit here to the AI, because they help me rewrite it so that it is the right amount of words. It speaks to the audience.
You're not being redundant. It's not repetitive.
No, it's still my brilliant mind in there. Yes. But that's how you should use it. You must use it to help you and support you. But your deep work, your purpose, your meaning, that remains in the realm of humanity.
Well, I could chat to you forever, but we've come to the end of the show. Thank you for coming once again and teaching us about this wonderful new steps in the right direction, I would say.
May I mention one quick thing?
Yes, please.
Please, can you attend our free cybersecurity awareness sessions on Fridays from 11 to 12? They're completely free, and they're there to help empower Namibians.
Well, I'll be right there with you for those. Well, with that, we've come to the end of our show. Thank you for joining us as we talked all things telecom.